Oh.
Oh man, it's just cat-like reflexes. It's awesome. But anyway,
let's start.
let's start.
Welcome back to Nerds, Nerds, and More Nerds.
Yo,
We're your hosts,
Cole, Travis,
and Miguel. Today we're going to talk about recommendations.
Nerds recommend.
That's right. Roll the intro music.
Go. Here we go.
Yes.
Go. Here we go.
Uh-huh.
Here we go. Go. Here we go. Here we go. What? Here we go. Here we go. What?
All right.
That's good.
Who wants to start?
Not me.
Okay.
I'm going to go last.
I guess I'll go for it.
Travis, okay, Miguel, let's hear what you got for us.
So
let's set the tone here. So this will be. We're thinking that this will be like a series of podcasts in the future. Like every once in a while, we'll do a Nerds Recommend episode where one of us will recommend something to the other two and to all of you guys that is nerdy, something that you may not have experienced before, and something that we're really passionate about and want more people to check out.
Yeah.
And also an opportunity for you to comment and say how much you appreciate that we mentioned that thing that maybe people don't know about, and to further the conversation. Mm-hmm. You can even, urge other people, nerdy people,
Here we go.
to check it out also.
So I highly recommend Rust.
Rust.
Rust is a PC game.
Now, I've heard of this game, but
Yeah. So it's a survival game.
Okay.
Basically, there's a lot of crafting, and there's a lot of like base building, and there are other players in your area in the map that it gives you, and all maps are generated. Like it's a completely different map every time. With different.
One question I have before you continue,
What's up?
is this on is this on a PC or console?
I said it earlier. I said it was just PC.
Just PC. Okay.
Yes.
Why don't you listen?
Jeez, I am not very good at listening.
Goodness.
Goodness.
Okay, so each map is it's completely different every time. So the items that you are given is just 2 med kits, a torch, and a rock.
Okay.
And that's it. The rock.
How old is this game?
This game is, I think it's maybe 6 years old.
Oh,
I don't know, something like that.
It's recent-ish, but not.
Recent-ish, but not. Okay. It's still in like its beta phases, I think.
Still?
Yeah.
Whoa.
They're still trying to figure some stuff out.
Okay.
But it's gotten way better since it was released. First in its alpha stages. Back when I started playing, there were zombies, there were bears, wolves, and other animals,
Predators.
predators that you could kill, and
Those are all the scary things.
yeah. But they could kill you, they could harm you, and there were also like radioactive areas.
Whoa.
But the map was always the same.
Okay.
Like you could, I think there was one point where we me and my old roommate, we started a clan, basically, like in the
A rusty clan.
Yeah. Rusty clan.
in one of the servers, and there was like maybe 80 people in that server.
Whoa.
We had about 20 people in our clan, and everybody would go. We had like 3 people go like collecting all the items and stuff. Because they were also the best at like killing people or killing other players. But yeah, like it's a great like team building video game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, you can like build bases and like I don't know, man, it's nuts. Like you keep like all this stuff. Like you find blueprints to build things. Like you can build a Kevlar vest or Kevlar armor, basically. You can build MP4s. Just like any like a bunch of different kind of guns.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. It's like a first-person shooter game, but it's survival.
Yeah.
So like you only get a certain amount of time to like however long you stay alive, your character grows like a beard and
That's
hair.
awesome.
But you start completely bald, basically like a baby.
Whoa.
It's nuts.
So like the longer the hair, the longer they've been around.
Exactly.
So you
Wow.
start to fear those people who
Yeah.
have super
Look at
long
this hairy
hair.
freak.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooga booga booga.
It's nuts, man. It's nuts.
That's intense.
Yeah.
So like how far along did you get?
So I was able to make it 2.5 weeks before without dying.
Okay.
2.5 weeks out of my like real life.
Is that
real
game?
time?
Oh, not game week.
Not-
Now, like, do you know, like, okay, so you said that you lasted for 2.5 weeks
Yeah.
in this game.
Yeah.
How does that compare to, like, the other people in the game? Like, is that really good? Like,
It's pretty decent.
it's pretty decent.
I know.
You're not a noob.
Well, I was
Like, I mean, you
somewhat of a
are,
nerd, but
you
like,
are, but you gained experience quickly.
Oh, certainly.
Yes.
Yeah. My roommate stayed alive for 6 months once.
Wow.
Oh.
And what happened when your roommate finally lost?
He lost everything.
So like you
Was he
lose everything.
He was quite
Yeah.
upset.
Basically, the server had to reset. And I think now servers reset every month.
Okay.
Back then, it didn't reset as much because they were just starting. They were just starting
Right.
out.
So this was like just the server reset that did it. He didn't actually like lose. Like he lost everything.
He
Obviously,
lost everything,
but it
and
wasn't.
he had to restart.
It wasn't
basically.
because he lost in the game.
Yeah, it wasn't because he died.
It was a cheap way of losing.
Yeah.
That is.
Technicality.
Oh man,
Yes.
how frustrating!
That would frustrate the crap out of me.
Yeah.
My goodness.
It gets pretty crazy. But this whole new way of working
Yeah.
in Rust, the maps are regenerative. Like they completely different every time. The items are in opposite, like crazy spots throughout the whole place. They got rid of the zombies.
Get out of here, zombies.
Yep, they got
Everyone
rid of
does
zombies.
zombies. Get out of here.
Yeah, that's too common, you know.
And they
Yeah.
only have like some animals, I think. I think they have deer. I think they still have wolves. They don't have bears anymore, I don't think.
Now, can you, like in the game, can you like hunt? As
Yes.
well? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So
You
that's
have
a survival
it's survival, so
Yeah.
like you have to hunt for meat. You have to create shelter. You have to keep warm in certain climates throughout the map. There's like the higher up you are, the colder it's going to be.
Okay.
So you have to
Create furs.
create furs. Well, not furs, but like you have to create clothing to keep you warm
Okay.
while you're walking around. And not only that, but you also have to, create a fire to keep you warm inside your base.
Now,
Perfect.
Now, is it like it was in Skyrim, where like I want to enchant this sword, I'm going to find an enchantment, find a sword, boom, enchanted sword, or is it like this is going to take a long time for you to learn how to build a fort or to
This is going to take a long time in order for you to learn how to build a fort.
So, like, how long did it take, as far as, like, like if you hunted an animal, you found it, you killed it, how long did it take to prepare the body to, like, use the meat and the bones and things? Like,
Oh, it's Nothing. No, it's real
wasn't
quick
it?
like that.
Okay. So it wasn't like...
It's not like you
How do I
do this
do this?
entire process and whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's more so learning the pieces to build for your base, getting the blueprints for those pieces.
Okay.
First, you start off with twigs, and then you build it up to like a
Look at my twig
planks of wood, and then stone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just like the three
And
little
then
pigs.
metal.
As kind of like the typical sort of progression.
Yes.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. But, if you have twigs, it's easier for people to break into your house
Right.
and take all your stuff.
So in 6 months, I'd be willing to bet your old roommate had a bitchin' little spot.
Oh, he had the biggest tower in the entire game.
That's awesome.
Or in the entire server, rather.
Wow.
And it wasn't just him, it was like him and all of us, but he was the one who, he's ridiculously good at first-person shooters on his PC.
Yeah.
And he knows how to, without cheating, take people out and can spot people from far distances. And
Right.
he's ridiculous at it.
Now I have kind of a stupid question that I just thought of while we were talking
Throw
about
it
this.
on out there.
Why is it called Rust?
That is such a stupid question.
How stupid of me to ask that
I think it's
question.
because the bases were built the metal that you ended up with were rusty or rustic looking.
Oh, okay.
I'm not entirely sure why it's called rust, but I think that could be it. Yeah, I didn't really look into much of that
Right.
necessarily, but the gameplay
Why
is
are things
awesome.
Yeah, why are things called what they are? Who knows?
Who knows?
That's
Who
a good
cares?
question.
But yeah, the gameplay is awesome,
Yeah,
so we'll leave it
we'll leave it at that.
at that.
When's the last time?
What are you going to say?
What is it? What is it, boy?
When's the last time you've played?
Okay,
How long has it been?
it's been a while. Unfortunately.
So you'd have to go back to infancy.
I have to get a PC again in order to play it.
Wow. So when you lost,
PC.
they took your PC too.
Yeah, basically.
Lose everything, Travis.
I lost my house. I lost my car.
My dog. He lost his dog. That took his dog. That took his job.
Wow.
Yeah, no, but I was working on purchasing that PC off my roommate, but he needed the money faster than what I could just give it to him, so he sold it to somebody else.
That SOB.
So I haven't played it since. It's been 3 years, I think, but it's a great game.
You know that's funny because I vaguely remember the time of that time
Yeah.
and feeling like I'm losing my friend Miguel. Where is he? He's always talking about this game. I don't see him much. Yeah, it's like PC games have more of an effect like that on
They
people
do.
than
They do.
console games. They're just quickly resolved, but PC games seem to go on forever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's amazing in that way.
but I don't know. We'll see about that.
Well,
Maybe for the majority, but
I guess we will.
we will towards the end of this podcast. All right, Cole. What?
Well, actually,
What do you have?
I do have a game that I would like to talk about because I think that whilst you were speaking, Miguel, I thought of a game that neither of you have played at all.
I swear, if you say Super Mario Brothers,
I swilled. This is actually. This is a PC game as well.
okay.
It is called Quake.
Oh, I have heard of Quake.
Quake.
This is actually Quake 2.
Quake 2.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
About it. What is it?
No, Quake 2. Both of them, really. Okay, yeah. So
both. Okay.
The Quake series is created by the same people who did Doom.
Okay.
So if you ever
Yes.
played or heard of or whatever,
Know about Doom, yeah.
right? Doom, right?
Yeah.
Played it, yeah.
Legendary.
Yes.
Yeah, great game.
Quake was like, what is this they have done?
Yes. What have
Somehow-
you done?
Yeah. somehow far less popular, which I still can't really understand, because I thought everything that was right about Doom, they brought to Quake and just expanded in like every right way.
Right.
It was just like maybe I was coming up on it after the fact too, but who knows?
Now, just to set the stage, like,
yes.
What time frame is this in? Like, when did this come out? When did you play it?
Now, it wasn't. I was introduced to it sometime after it had already been released, so I didn't see it on the ground floor. Newly released time, but it was shown to me by an old nerdy friend of mine, Gareth Walters.
Yes.
A meta nerd, if you will. He's he's way up there.
He wears like a cloak or something.
Yeah, exactly.
He sits upon a throne.
Yeah, and he knows things about nerdy stuff that no other nerds know. Like he's a nerd demigod. Well, anyway, and so but he introduced me to a lot of games. But Quake, I really attached to. It's such a cool game. Like, so in Doom, how you get, your standard, like, pistol, automatic, sort of small machine gunny type thing, shotgun, rifle, this, and then whatever, like all these guns up the scale, railgun, BFG. Quake had all those guns too, but some of them were different. Like, there was a shotgun, and then there was a super shotgun.
Oh, man. And
it was badass. And it was such a cool game because, like, it's sort of the same theme. Instead of like demons and things like that, like it was in Doom, in Quake, you're battling like these humanoid robot and, sort of like things. Like, they merged organic life material with robots. And they were like super evil, like, monstrous things, like abominations, like,
right.
Man, it was, and like I said, it was a lot like Doom, how, you play in the dark or even just by yourself or everything's quiet around you. Man, you walk into a room and you think, cool, I see stuff over there. Oh my God, what is that? Like pop out at you stuff. And
right.
Oh man, it was such a trip, dude. It seemed to go on forever. Like, all the different levels, like, you go to this zone, you go to this area, blah, blah, blah. As far as bosses, like, I don't really ever remember bosses except till the end when you're fighting, like, these just huge, like, it's weird how those games were structured, because the enemies were sort of like, a thing that shoots projectiles at you, or like a thing that has to run at you to hit you, or something that shoots back, or a fireball shooting thing that disappears. It's like, it's stuff like that. And then at the end, it's like try to fight 3 different kinds of enemies in waves, and 5 different types of waves. But this one boss is always going to be there, like kind of thing. Yeah. And it was just, like, super fun to play. Like, I'm so mad it didn't grab the gaming community like Doom did, or, or any other games for that matter, and, like, just keep kind of going on. But it also, there was, if I'm not mistaken, because Doom didn't have this element, but Quake 2 had a multiplayer, like, deathmatch kind of format. And I played this a lot with Gareth, and we would also, like, like the two of us would chase each other around and, hunt each other with all these different weapons. Like, they had cool stuff like a crossbow, and the crossbow had, like, standard arrows, like arrows you'd shoot at somebody and, like, it would, like, poison you.
Yeah.
Like disease. Like explosive arrows, like mines that you could throw down, and they had, like, a laser beam. And so, like, anytime you walk past that beam, it was like, boom, you're dead. So, like, Gareth would, like, trap me in rooms like that, dude. He'd just, like, go and get these grenades, or these mines, set them up, and these beams are like this. I'm like, dude, are you serious?
He's a sorcerer.
Man,
at nerddom.
It was nuts, dude. It was so much fun.
Wow.
Like, bombs, grenade launchers, all this stuff. So you're running around in the environment, collecting weapons and ammo and stuff, and killing people with it. And it was cool because, like, you know, the degree to which you kill somebody, like, you could shoot them and they could die and then just fall over, and it was like, haha, got you. Or you could, like, shoot them and they would, like, explode into gore.
Yeah.
Now, this was, you know, like, well, this was maybe like early high school. No, this was my sophomore, junior year. I had a car that I could drive to his house in. So this was like 2002, 2003. Yeah.
Right.
And still not like the best graphics. For being a computer game, it wasn't like crisp and clean and really sharp.
Yeah.
Really pixelated, you know, like the blood was like red squares.
Oh
know,
no,
kind of stuff.
it's red squares everywhere.
But that didn't even matter. Like it was so much fun to play.
This goes back into our conversation that we had recently
Exactly.
about
what?
graphics.
Yeah, exactly.
Good game. Yep.
Yeah. This was one of those games. Holy crap! How did I not even think of it at the time?
How did you not even think of it?
I don't even know, but I'm thinking about it now, and so that's good. But it was we played like whole like you know, you get into a room with more players, you know, it was an online community game, like you could get into, you know, onto a server with multiple players on teams, and we'd try to work together since like we would be playing on two PCs in the same room.
Yeah.
We could like communicate and like, all right, dude, so you wait on the other side of that door, I'm gonna do this, and then I'll railgun, you know, whatever. Like, you know, we had plans and we ran the table a lot of the time.
That's sweet.
Yeah. I was kind of like the pinata for him, so I'd take a lot of deaths, but we always won.
You were his pawn.
I was.
Again, Gareth wore a cape.
Dude.
And had a crystal ball.
And
shot electricity from his fingers.
Yes. This sounds hilarious because it is, but it's also true. He would, you know how Mr. Burns from The Simpsons, he had his little finger thing that he did?
Yeah.
That Gareth Walters did that like all the time. he had a thing where he was just like he's an interesting guy, man. But yeah, he introduced me to a lot of really cool games, and Quake was probably the one that stuck out to me the most. It was just a blast. Had a hell of a time playing it.
It sounds like it.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Recommend. Nerds recommend.
Yeah, go check out Quake. They actually, and just to end this, they released a Quake 3 Arena. It was like basically a deathmatch game.
Yeah.
On PlayStation 2, when like PlayStation 2 it was like months down the road of having first dropped.
Yeah.
And the game was like, it was like, oh, cool, Quake for PlayStation.
Yeah.
Not cool. Like, it just didn't do as great as they wanted. Like,
see that?
It was fun to kind of revisit, but it just wasn't the same as the PC. It just wasn't the same. So it fell flat. It was a shame.
But PC, nerds recommend that.
PC, yep. Go back to 2003 and
hop in your time machine.
Yeah.
Travel through time.
Oh, so much fun.
Back to go do nerd stuff.
I'd really like to, actually. I think maybe we ought to.
Let's get in a time machine. But first, there's one more nerds recommend. So
that's right.
Mine's a little bit different. Mine is not a PC game. Mine is.
Well, I don't want to talk about it.
Oh yeah, mine's not a first-person shooter. Mine's not a co-op game.
Now you know what's funny about this?
It's totally different from your guys's.
Besides those details,
yeah.
Miguel and I, we don't even have PCs that we game on anymore. So, like, this was a long time ago.
Yeah,
this was a long time ago.
But this is more current. What you're talking
This is more current. This is a PS4 game. So let me give a little bit of backstory. So
is it on other platforms also?
It's on PS3 as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so PS3 and PS4.
So it's only a PlayStation.
A PlayStation exclusive.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for it.
It is good. It is good. I'd love to see it on Switch at some point. That would be awesome, but probably not. We'll see. Probably not, though. But, so 2017, like in 2017, there were a bunch of good games. And there were there were 3 games in particular that were like, wow, these are some of my new favorite games, period. Like,
wow.
Not just one or whatever, like 3. And so they were Zelda Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey, and then this game that I'm going to talk about, Persona 5. All of those 3 were actually all nominated for Game of the Year award.
No kidding.
Yeah, wow. All 3 of those were. Yeah, but I don't know like how Persona 5 can be nominated for something like that, and it's still like, and it is kind of like a social like phenomenon to a certain extent.
Yeah,
but it's still like under the radar. Like a lot of people haven't played it, haven't checked it out. It's nominated for this, but it's like, come on, just look at it, you know?
Is it like the Coheed and Cambria of games?
Oh my god, it's like,
because it's
like, I don't even know. It's like a cult movie or something, like Pick of Destiny or something. It's like, just watch it. Like, it's really good. But this is crazy because it's nominated for Game of the Year, and then people still haven't checked it out. But there is a strong following for this series, and Persona 5 is the 5th one in the series. Big surprise there, but
is this the first one of the series you've played?
This was the first one that I ever played.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And oh my goodness, like I've gone back. I played the 4th one. Like I'm kind of in the middle of the 4th one right now, and it's good. It's very, very good.
Are you going in like reverse order?
I'm going in reverse order. Is very, very slow.
Another PlayStation release?
Yeah, these are all PlayStation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's just get that out of the way.
Yeah, and what's interesting about 4, just side note, is that the definitive edition of Persona 4 is the PlayStation Vita version.
Oh.
That is the definitive version.
I didn't know you had a Vita.
Oh, yes, and it's awesome, despite what you may hear. I play a bunch of PS1 games on it all the time, and it's really cool.
Yeah, PS1, yeah.
Oh, yeah, take that.
Yeah.
Vita haters.
Yeah.
Okay, so Persona 5.
Here we go.
One of my favorite games. So, just like, I took some notes, so I didn't forget all this stuff. So, like, just popping this guy in, like, it takes you, like, out of your living room and into, this world. There's this amazing animation and music that, like, kind of gives it an introduction to what you're going to be playing, and it's just jaw-dropping. Like this, like the intro to this game, well, it was like nominated for awards, like just in like not just video game awards, just like film awards.
No kidding.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, so that starts, and then you, to kind of give like an overall blanket idea of like what you're doing in this game. It's a turn-based JRPG. Where...
What does the J stand for?
Japanese.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah, so turn-based JRPG, and you control, like, this group of teenagers who are, like, they're kind of like superheroes in a sense. Like, they're normal high school kids in Japan during the day.
Well,
basically.
You just described superheroes.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, during the day they're that. And then, like, at night, after school, they go into what is called the metaverse. And this is, like, through an app on their phone, they go and, they almost go into, like, the minds of these bad people. Like to give an example, the first target that they have to take out is this gym teacher that's at their school, and they find out, like, by going into, like, what's called his palace, like it's almost his mind basically. They go into his mind, and they have these cool outfits on once they go into his mind, like superheroes, and they can see his distorted desires like what he views the school as. It's like his kingdom, like his castle.
Whoa.
Yeah, and he's got these crazy,
warped ideas.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
And so when they go into his mind, like the real him has no idea what's going on in real life.
Okay.
But you have to like go through his mind basically and defeat him. And if you defeat him,
he dies.
Like he does not die. No, they have to be careful though not to kill him because he'll die in real life. But if they just defeat him and they steal what is called his treasure, like which I think his was like a trophy, then he'll in real life say like, I committed these crimes. This is like just owning up to everything that he did, basically. Yeah. Oh. And so that's how they kind of fight crime. And so the way that the whole thing opens, like there's the cool animation I talked about at the beginning. And then you see this giant casino and you're controlling the main character. You're fighting bad guys. You're trying to get out of this casino. Like there are these like FBI people and police just after you.
Whoa.
And you're like, man, what's like, this is crazy. Yeah. And you finally get out, but you're captured by these police officers. And they say, we finally got you. And it was your teammate that ratted you out. And you're like, oh man, what does this mean? Like, it's almost like they throw you into it, like in this crazy moment right at the beginning.
Whoa.
And then you're being interrogated in this room afterwards, like after you're arrested and everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to tell this woman, like she says, like, let's go back. Tell me what happened. And so that's when
launches the sort of gameplay.
It takes you all the way back to the beginning.
Whoa!
And here's the real kicker. Like that happens on November 20th, and then it takes you back to I want to say like towards the beginning of April, like April 9th or something, somewhere around there. Yeah, so it takes you back there, and you play like it's almost like you have to think about how you want to spend your day when you're playing it.
Really?
Because certain activities take up time in your day.
Oh.
And the days progress as you play the game. So you can't go back and say like, oh man, I should have like
let me rewind time.
Yeah, like and there are cool things like you're a high school student, you say you have to study for your test.
So like if you miss doing something in the game, you miss it.
Yeah. And the other thing is like there are deadlines to finish these palaces. Like you have to like that first one that I mentioned, you have to finish that within like 2 weeks or something in the game, or
you get another crime.
Or like like that or I think in this particular instance you get like expelled or something along those lines. So basically you have to do it by that time.
But you're sort of like put into a position where now the goal becomes almost impossible to achieve when before it was totally attainable. Something like
so that. So I wouldn't say it's impossible, but it's...
You've jeopardized the mission.
Like, yeah, like, so if you hit that... I see what you're saying now. Like, so if you get to that day and you don't do it, then you've like not succeeded. You failed. You failed the mission.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's interesting as hell.
Dude, it's so awesome. Let me see here. Okay, so I talked about days progressing. So I did mention this a little bit, but like leveling up is really cool. So there are all of these social stats. Like knowledge, like guts, proficiency, and there are 5 of them, and they're all like in a star shape in the menu. Okay. And so as you kind of progress at one, like say you progress at knowledge, it starts to go up, like it like the little
they expand.
It expands. Yeah, it's like a star, and the points go even further up and up. Yeah,
Like Dance Dance Revolution.
Dance Dance Revolution. Jeez, just like this game is just like Dance Dance Revolution. If you like that one, you're gonna love this game.
Okay.
Most definitely. But yeah, so there are those aspects that you level up.
Yeah.
There's like actual grinding, like leveling your character up so that they're strong. They have more like HP and
They like improve their abilities. And,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then like SP as well, like and like the SP in this game is used towards your persona, which is it reminds me of kind of like a Pokemon. Like you control this thing to say like, all right, do this.
Yeah.
You know, like fight this other whatever persona.
Huh.
And that's cool. But like then once you run out of that SP, like once you start to get low, you've got to, leave this palace, and then a day passes, and like you get to certain save points within the palace, like so that you can go back to that, like once you go to the real world and go back in.
So kind of like checkpoints.
Yeah,
Okay,
basically.
okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
And so there are a lot of times when I have like really low SP and I'm like, oh, I gotta get to that that next save point. I've got to. They're called like safe rooms.
Okay.
And there so there's that, like, so there's leveling up all of your stats, like as far as knowledge, and that there's leveling up your character, but then there's also like social bonds between your teammates.
Holy cow.
And also like just other confidants that are in the game, and that gives you different abilities, like in battle.
Wow.
Like, oh man, it's so complex. I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. It's so good. And then like on top of all of this stuff, the story is awesome. Like there aren't very many stories that can go on for like 120 plus hours that are good. And this is one of them that is good.
Yeah, that's saying something, man.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I think that's probably all I want to say about that without giving too much away about this game.
Yeah.
But it looks awesome, plays awesome. Everything is awesome about this game.
Well, folks,
and don't, like, if you pick this up, like, don't be super overwhelmed by like what I just said. It kind of eases you into these different mechanics as you're going through.
it has like a flow. It's not just everything all at once. Huh.
Yeah, and then there's this whole other thing, like even on top of that, about like the actual different personas that you get, different ones like within the game.
Yeah.
And then you can like combine them and strengthen them, and it's out of control. Like I could talk for days about this game.
Interesting, man.
Yeah.
Well,
Good stuff. This nerd recommends it.
this is actually the most Travis has ever gone on about this game. Normally, for whatever reason, the topic shifts, but
Yeah.
that sounds even more interesting than just you being excited about it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Most definitely. Love it.
Okay.
I'll show you guys some stuff off camera.
Cool. Haha, you don't get to see.
Well, you guys can just go check it out. Check it out.
Well, yeah.
It's pretty good. It's always on sale. Like every other week at Target, I see it on sale.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah. So check it out when it's on sale.
But you know what? Also pay close attention and keep your eyes peeled, because we may even just devote an episode of Nerds and More Nerds to some gameplay and some view time.
Some Let's Play
things.
videos.
See?
Yeah.
See?
Yep.
So there.
And we might just make that the first game that we do.
Yep.
Perhapsably?
And it'll probably make any game that we do after that not so good looking.
Yeah. Maybe that'll be the one and only one we do.
Maybe.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Oh, we like to yuck it up.
We have made it to the end of the episode.
Which is hard to imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what's even harder to imagine is having a PayPal account.
Actually, it's pretty easy. Why don't you say more about it, Miguel?
That's true. We have a PayPal account. If you could please donate money to us, we would greatly appreciate it. Our PayPal account is nerdsandmorenerds@gmail.com. Thanks. Also, thank you for tuning into the show. But before we go, we'd sure like to know what you thought about the show.
Please tell us.
And what you'd like to hear on future podcasts.
Tell us that too.
Add us on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, and feel free to leave a comment on any of those social media outlets. If you're on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and leave a comment below. Nerds out.